Showrunner Ryan Condor explains changes to the Blood and Cheese moment in House of the Dragon Season 2 premiere. In this case, House of the Dragon deviates from the darker events in the book to maintain a less demented depiction.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
So, the two characters, Blood and Cheese, a big and brutal member of the City Watch, and a rat catcher in the Red Keep respectively, are two killers who are hired by Daemon to assassinate Aemon Targaryen, implementing the old and cruel punishment of an eye for an eye, or in this case, a son for a son. The two assassins don't end up killing Aemon, but instead kill someone who's much more innocent and undeserving, Jaehaerys, the young son of King Aegon II and Queen Helaena. In an interview with TV Line, House of the Dragon showrunner Ryan Condor explains why certain changes were made to Blood and Cheese and their horrible interactions with Team Green. The most glaring change was the complete removal of Aegon and Helena's third and youngest son, Maelor. This change was made because, according to Condor, there simply wasn't enough time to include him. He says that the first season already included the constant recasting of the children, which ultimately led to Aegon and Helena's children being much younger. Here's what he said. Just very simply, Maelor was not even born in the storyline. We did have to compress time in Season 1 to make it so that we didn't have to recast every character on screen. We are just recasting the kids, so to speak, as we went along, and part of that meant that Aegon and Helena's children were younger, as are Daemon and Rhaenyra's children younger at the very end of this, because not much time has passed after their marriages to give time for all these kids to grow up. The other element was just wanting to be this very visceral experience that happens to Helaena, who I think a lot of people would argue is the most innocent person on either side of this conflict and just sort of finds herself in the crossfire of this tit-for-tat kind of punch and counterpunch that's going on between the sides. It felt like that this was a core dramatic point that was important to be made.
I recognize the council has made a decision, but given that it's a stupid-ass decision, I've elected to ignore it.
In usual George R.R. Martin fashion, Blood and Cheese were much worse in his book Fire and Blood. In the book, Cheese gags and bounds Queen Alicent while Blood strangles her bedmaid. They then wait for Helaena to bring children to Alicent before bed, a nightly tradition. When Helaena arrives with Jaehaerys, Jahara and Maelor, Blood bars the door and slays her guardsman while Cheese snatches Maelor. Helaena pleads that they kill her instead, but Blood tells her that a wife's not a son, it has to be a boy. Blood and Cheese tell Helaena that she must pick one of her sons for death, and they threaten her with the rape of her daughter if she doesn't choose quickly. Helaena eventually chooses Maelor, and Cheese whispers to the 2-year-old boy that his mother wants him dead before grinning at Blood, who then instead beheads Jaehaerys.
Oh, that's nasty.
Another change is that in the show, it is clear that Rhaenyra and Daemon want Aemon dead, and that Jaehaerys only dies instead because Aemon isn't found. In the book, it seems like Jaehaerys or Maelor were the prime targets. This speaks to the show's less demented depiction of Daemon. The events of House of the Dragon can often be grim, but in this particular scene, I wonder how fans of the books consider this deviation from the source material. The threat of rape and the diabolical teasing from Blood and Cheese might have made an already unsettling scene even darker.
What do you think?